I'm getting probably into the later part of my career. I don't know if I look like it, but I am. And so as I'm headed these last years of teaching, I love teaching. It's going to be hard to give up the classroom. What we have put away in the 401k or the IRAs or whatever, is it going to be enough to stretch? And I just had a feeling, because we lived overseas and back then the what we were putting in really wasn't quite enough. I was looking for something else, and I knew that the real estate could be a vehicle, and that's when I started making the connections. Oh, here's a little company that can actually help us to begin that journey. It really was what it seemed as I started to look on the website and then have some phone calls with representatives there at Done For You. We began to look at our resources and what we had to put into a first home purchase, a first investment. And started to look at some different markets that were available at the time and that are still available, and ended up down in Florida. So here I am in Oregon, and we have a couple of homes down in Florida now. We kind of examined each of the markets, and they each kind of offered their own things. We looked at Florida. It was really the move had started. There were a lot of folks moving to Florida. We knew that the job market was strong there, that the housing market was relatively affordable there. Seemed like the right market for us, even though it felt so far away. Started to build that confidence that it could still work for us to have a property managed down there. And so the first one it's always a little scary to jump into that first investment. But just down south of Orlando, we got that first home, and it really worked out well. We knew Florida was right for us. I've got to say, it is time consuming to start the process. Just like buying a home, you're getting pre-qualified. You've got to go through those steps with a lender. Eventually, you'll work with a realtor. You'll come to insurance. There are all these steps along the way. What's hardest sometimes is just the waiting to get there, to actually close on that first investment property. Once you get through the process, I remember the term rinse and repeat. Well, we made it. This is great. Okay, we're sailing along. We put the time in. We worked with Done For You. We had all of the team helping us at the different stages along the way. That property is now, we have a tenant, and we're starting to earn some income. As we started working with that first property and seeing it managed well, it's the question started coming. Well, we did it once. What would it take to do it again? So we started to have those conversations. Where else could we free up some capital, some resources to do it? And every time it was a little different that we purchased a home, but it was always working with Rodney or Jerem that we came up with ideas to move to the next step in the next home. And that's how the first home is, the first investment. It's pulling everything together just to get things rolling. We had built up enough equity in our first home that we chose to pull some of that out and put that in. Now, it was a kind of an interesting time because of the interest rates have been fluctuating and so forth. But we weighed everything out and decided that this is the time we're going to take the equity out of this property and put it into another one. So that's just in a nutshell kind of how we've made that work. If there was ever a time that maybe we had some concerns about, is this the right thing to do with our resources? It was probably right at the beginning of the process. Thought, planning, prayer, everything that went into that. It felt like a decision that was well made. A single family home is a great way to get started.